But let's jump right into the aforementioned Steph Curry injury from last night's game against the Celtics. Obviously not the way anyone wanted that to go down. The injury happened here at the 4:17 mark of the second quarter. You can see Steph injures his left foot there and got it rolled up by Celtics guard Marcus Smart as the two were going after a loose ball. Steph was in some pain there. Steve Kerr clearly upset with Smart after the play. And as we see here, Warriors fans collectively holding their breath. Good afternoon. I'm George Sedano in for Malika Andrews. I'm joined now by senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. So, Woj, what are you hearing about Steph's MRI and any potential timeline for his foot injury?
George, Ramona Shelburne and I are told, a left foot sprain, and that there's optimism initially that Steph Curry would be back by the start of the playoffs in mid-April. He's getting a specialist to evaluate that imaging today, but the initial evaluation was perhaps in the 3-week range. And, the hope is that Steph Curry can return without having to miss any postseason basketball.
All right, Woj, thank you so much. Obviously, a semi-fluid situation. We'll stay tuned to it. So thank you, Woj. Appreciate it.
Thanks, George.
All right, there he is. All right, we now welcome in Raz Goldunwude. Raz, you were on the sideline last night. What was the mood of the team in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, the team was emotionally charged, and especially after Steph left the game, still before the end of the first half, you could see that it started with Steve Kerr. He was upset with Marcus Smart. The both of them were going back and forth, and I saw Steve Kerr, he didn't like them play, and he also was having the back of his player. But it continued to trickle on through the end of that second quarter, and Draymond Green was upset as well, and he was yelling at the refs and actually got a tech.
Yeah.
So later on, I'm in the huddle, watching Draymond come back from getting that tech, and Draymond Green is so visibly upset and yelling and just angered that for a second I saw the entire team seemed a bit jolted by it, and it seemed like it was about to spill over in not a great way. Steve Kerr came over to Draymond and he said, "We need you." Steph wasn't out there, so he goes to Draymond and he says, "We need you." And what I saw right there between those two men, I saw respect.
Yeah.
I saw understanding. I saw experience. And it was a quick reminder to me that these are guys who have won championships before. And then I saw Draymond's great leadership. He immediately calmed down, channeled that into something useful, started to clap, tell the guys to finish out the half strong. The entire team rallied around Draymond in that moment. It literally went from like chaos to
right.
something really useful that the team used and came back on that court together and collected. And that's one of the strengths of the Warriors.
Yeah, certainly the experience. And by the way, the experience without Steph as well. Let's not forget about that. All right, the Warriors have struggled quite a bit, actually, without Steph on the floor. Over the last 3 seasons, Golden State has won just 18 of 75 games that Curry has missed. That's only good for 24% of those games. So we've got Kendrick Perkins now and Vince Carter joining us here. Perk, we'll start with you. The Warriors' big three has only played together, get this, for 11 minutes all season. How concerning is that as we near the playoffs?
Well, George, let me say this first, okay? Steve Kerr and Draymond Green were both out of line because they know the golden rule when a loose ball is on the floor, and every coach in the world in the NBA, college, high school, AAU, they tell their players to be the first to hit the floor because of those reasons. Marcus Smart wasn't doing anything wrong but playing hard. That's the first thing. The level of concern is extremely high. It's not because of the chemistry between Steph, Clay, and Draymond. It's the others, right? And we're getting to crunch time where now guys like Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton II, when he comes back, those guys need to know their roles, need to know their rotations, things to that nature. They need to figure out how they're going to use Kuminga coming in off the bench. It's vital. It's key not only for the players on the floor, but it's key for Steve Kerr and his coaching staff. This is why it's so concerning. You need, right now with 12 games left, you want to be hitting your stride together where guys know exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think, it's really big for somebody like Wiggins and Jordan Poole, just understanding their touches and how things work when you're playing with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. That's the big thing, and that's the question, because everything else we know evolves around them and how you play. You're going to get the open shots and stuff, but understanding when Draymond is running the point forward and Steph and Clay are in movement under the basket, whatever, you're supposed to set screen. You set good screens because you will be the open guy because of the attention these two men, I call them young men, demand. So that is a question and a concern, in my opinion, as well.
Well, make no mistake about this, though. I mean, things are absolutely shaken up for the Warriors. And it's so crazy in the NBA how quickly a reality can change for a team. Literally the game before, Steph, Clay, Draymond were on the same court. Draymond proclaims after the game, 2 seed, 3 seed, we're going to win a championship. And actually coming into this game that I'm, sideline reporting on, I actually went up to Draymond and said, I know you don't just say that out of nowhere if you don't believe that. What is it about this team that you think could win you guys a championship? And he said, it comes down to one thing, health. He feels that they have been the best team all season except for when they've been hurt. And he feels like now that coming into yesterday's game, he felt like now that everybody's healthy, he was saying, look, even if we have things to figure out, I would bet on us, our veteran crew, that we'll figure it out. And the only thing holding us away from a championship is health. And now that's out the window. It's crazy just how quickly that changed. And also they're fighting against time. Do they have enough time to put everything together if and when Steph comes back?
To your point, Roz, they're 29-6. Real quick, Vince, they're 29-6 when Draymond plays this season. So go ahead, Vince.
Well, I'll just say, and Draymond knows everything is second nature when they get out there. It's not even, you don't have to talk it out. It's second nature. They understand if who's on the one side of the floor when Draymond has the ball, it's just a look. They understand what needs to be done, and that will be missing, and that is missing right now. And they need everybody to be on the same page, understanding those no calls, those the eye contact calls that they have.
All right, no question about it. All right, let's turn over. Perk, did you have something else to add real quick?
No, go ahead.
Okay, let's turn over to another big storyline coming out of last night. Luka, Perk's new guy, visiting Brooklyn to take on KD and company at Barclays.
Wait, Perk gave up Ja?
Oh, I don't know. He may be cheating on Ja, is all I'm saying. All right, so Doncic has Dragic on him here. Doncic drains a tough fadeaway jumper right there. Let's move on. 15 seconds to go. Same score. Durant with the pull-up here on the other side. KD doing KD things. Swack him right there. 7 seconds to go. Mavericks down 1. Doncic is forced to give it up. Swings it to Dinwiddie. And here it is. Luka, late game Luka finding the open man. Contested jumper, though. Nice recovery. And Dinwiddie leaves the shot to be made in front of his old fans. Here it is one more time. Luka sees the double. Nice recovery by Dragic, but Dinwiddie hits the shot in Dragic's face. And let's go to the post game. Let's hear from Dinwiddie with Cassidy Hubbard after the game.